All right, buddy. Where you from, and what's your name?
My name's Joseph. I'm from South Jersey in Swedesboro.
South Jersey. I was out
Yeah.
there not too long ago, man. So you are the co-defendant of someone that I had on the show. I think it was like the second story time with my audience that I did. His name's Eric, correct?
Yeah, I'm one of them. Yeah, there's three of us, but yeah.
Okay, and he was sentenced to what was it, 10 years, 8 years?
It was 8 years flat.
Okay, have you heard anything from him? How he's doing in lockup? I know I talked to I believe his sister
Yeah.
already, and she said something about he might not be doing too good.
Nah, he's not doing too well. I think he's just not used to it yet. Time's killing him.
The
And he
time's
said,
killing him.
yeah, he said that he's getting tested a lot his first month. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, tell me about yourself, man. You're a co-defendant in this case,
yeah,
and you're about to turn yourself in uh,
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah,
Friday. And I thought at first you said that you were going to turn yourself in on Valentine's Day, and you said it got continued or something.
yeah. My lawyer wasn't able to make it, so they just continued to
Well,
next Friday.
well, that's good because our first recording did not go well.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to have you on the show, man. But yeah, co-defendants. Before we get into a lot of individuals over here, especially in Virginia, when co-defendants are involved, everyone thinks that when you hear the word co-D, snitching is always coming along the lines with it
Yeah.
because that's typically what happens. Everyone rolls on each other. But what's the case in this scenario? Obviously you're not snitching. Or
No,
you,
none of us rolled on each other. Luckily,
yeah,
thank
and
God.
and
They
you,
tried though.
yeah, they did.
Oh yeah, they tried every
Like
chance they had.
the detectives.
Yeah, the detectives, like when we got first locked up and they brought us down to the police station where the crime happened, they separated us all. Said, hey, if you just tell us the story, you're going home. We'll help you out. We'll get you a good deal if you tell us the actual story. Because the victim lied to the police and made up a totally different story of what actually did happen. So they really wanted one of us to roll on somebody to get the real story. But a week later, the victim actually ended up telling them the real story, so they didn't really need us. But they still wanted us to testify in trial in case one of us went. So they were trying to get one of us to take a plea deal to testify in trial, and they would reduce our sentence. But none of us took it.
Okay. Well, did they come? First off, uh, what are the charges that you're going to prison for?
Yeah, first degree armed robbery, theft of CDS, and 2 unlawful weapons charges.
Okay, and those were the initial charges that were pressed upon you at the very
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah, those are the original. They dropped my 2 weapons charges, and now I'm just doing a theft and the armed robbery.
Okay, now let me ask you this: what kind of deals did they shoot? Like, was there any kind of deals that they did shoot at you that were kind of tempting?
Uh, at first, when I first was in jail, because I had my first hearing in jail, my first was I think it was 9 years and a couple months, and everybody in there was talking me up like, "Man, your charges are too serious. You're facing 20 and 25." I'm like, "Really?" So at first I was thinking maybe this is a good deal, but at the time I had a public defender. They were like, "Yeah, I'd take it." I was like, "Nah, I think I'm gonna get a personal lawyer." I ended up getting a personal lawyer in jail. And he's like, "No, we can get you definitely a better deal than this. So just sit tight. I'm going to try to get you out on house arrest or some bond." But in New Jersey, they took the bond away. So we were sitting, waiting for a hearing to see if we're going to get out or not. And they got me out on house arrest, and I ended up sitting for 6 months fighting my case. And my second deal was 7 years, and then they went down to 5 with an 85.
Okay. Oh, with the 85. Hey, before we move forward, hey, do you have a little visor up there that you could turn to the side a little bit?
Yeah.
Much better, man. That light was blinding the hell out of me, man. But check it out. All right, so that's crazy though. That's crazy how at first it was 9, then
Yeah.
then what? What
Seven.
it was 7,
Yeah.
and then 3.
Yeah.
And regardless of what time you did, you would have to do 85%.
Yeah, that is high. That is high.
Yeah, yeah. But let me ask you this, man. Do you think? Why do you think he got more time than you or anyone else did? Was his situation a little different than y'all's? If you
Well,
can speak on it.
This was my first charge ever. This is my first
Oh
time.
yeah. That plays a big part in it, man.
Yeah, he had previous charges. I'm not sure what they were at the time, but he had previous. And I think they believed I had less to do with it because I was the youngest one out of the group, and they kind of looked at me as like a victim. But I mean, that's what they looked at it as, but it really just wasn't the case. But I definitely got the least time out of the three, probably because I didn't have any record. And my age is so young, so.
Yeah, and just for my viewers, a lot of people might say, "Oh man, he probably rolled on him. That's why he got less time." Nah, listen, this man is dating the man's sister.
Yeah.
That already been locked. It's already in prison. He's dating his sister, and trust me, if there was any kind of stuff going on, I think his sister would know.
Yeah.
You know, along those lines.
And the dad. So that tells you something.
And the dad. Damn, man, they came at. So that's all three of you. It was the dad, the son, and you.
Yep.
It's unbelievable, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's messed up. It's messed up.
All right, now, so you go in on Friday,
Yeah.
and you're turning yourself in for, you said 3.5.
Yeah.
And you got to do 85%, so you're probably looking at, I'd say 2 years, 9 months, probably something like that.
Well, it was 5 with 85, so whatever 85 of 5, 85 of 5 years.
Oh, okay, so yeah, about, okay, I get you. All right, so let me ask you this, man, so what are you planning, like, how are you planning for this trip? Well, first, let me say this, how was your first time in jail? Because you already went to jail a little bit and got a little taste of it.
Yeah.
How was that?
Wasn't too fun, but it wasn't that bad actually. When I was going in, I thought it was gonna be a lot worse. The jail I was in was pretty bad. It's in the top 10 for New Jersey's worst. But there's a couple issues, not really too many. Just gangs are on the phones. It was hard to get on the phone, talk to anybody. People were putting glass in my trays.
Glass? Why would they put glass in your tray?
Because people were thinking we were snitching and talking too much about our cases. One of my co-defendants, who when we went in, there was like a mumble going on back and forth that one of us rolled on each other, and I guess people heard, and they don't mess with snitches in there, so they put glass in one of my trays, and ended up moving me out of that pod into a different one.
So individuals that y'all have no idea, that y'all don't know, not one bit, heard y'all talking and want to be little gossip birds and start putting glass in people's food, and they don't even know what the hell the situation is.
Yep.
See,
exactly.
I say this all the time. Jail and prison, there's a lot of gossip. There's a lot of gossip and a lot of, you think one thing, you might say something and a little bird behind you heard it, and guess what? The whole compound will be talking about it for the next day or two. So you always got to remember to watch what you say, who you say it around. And, that's key. It's vital. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But that's unbelievable. How'd you see the food? How'd you see the glass, man?
Oh, it was obvious as day. There's chunks in it.
Did you get a new tray?
Yeah, I got a new tray. I didn't end up eating until dinner time, though, because they totally took me out and everything. I was like, I can't eat this. I was like, there's glass in it. So they ended up taking me out of the whole pod. I didn't get to eat probably for another 6 or 7 hours.
Okay, so you took the tray up to the correctional officer?
Yeah, and I was like, dude, I can't even eat this. There's glass in there.
And you're in general population in a pod.
Yeah.
What were the other inmates thinking about this? Did you show anybody else?
No, I kept it to myself. I didn't want to put that out there. You know what I mean? I didn't want to bring that up in front of them and cause an issue with other people. So I was like, I'm just gonna do this, low key, other than starting issues with everybody. I did it.
That's very smart. That was a smart move.
Yeah.
You might make it out of this one alive, my friend.
Hope so.
Now, let me ask you, what's your thoughts? What's your feelings now that you're about to get locked up, man? What's going on through your head? I want to hear.
I'm a little nervous. I don't know. I don't think I'll have a problem getting along with people or any of that. I think the time is what's going to get me. Leaving my mom and family behind, definitely.
Yeah. One of my biggest fears every time I got locked up was one of my family members that all my family I love to death, man. And if they were to pass away while I was in jail or prison, it would kill me. And that was
Oh, yeah.
that was one of my biggest things that I thought about a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's good. What about how are you planning for it? Like, what are you doing anything in particular to plan for an easier ride in
Uh,
lockup?
well, I mean, I'm getting like my books ready. I got a little notebook written down with like everybody's names, numbers. In New Jersey, in this jail, you're allowed to bring in whites and stuff, so got that stuff ready. Saying goodbye to everybody is really just what's been trying to spend as much time with everybody before I go.
Yes, those are key and vital things to do. Get addresses and phone numbers to your loved ones or friends. Whites. Make sure you have prescription glasses. If you have them on you. Any kind of prescription drugs. Make sure you have notes and stuff like that with you. All that stuff is vital. See, that's a huge perk that you have compared to a lot of individuals. You have time to do this. And I made a video in the past of some of the top 10 things you should do before you get locked up if you're out on bond. And you're doing good so far, man. And your girl, hopefully she supports you throughout this bid. You know what I mean? It's not long at all. It's not long. It's not long, but at the same time, it's long. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just blessed to be out because originally when I first went into my first hearing, the judge was like, "You're a menace to society. You're not getting out. You're gonna sit here until your case is done." And I was like, "There's no way." I was like, "I can't. I'm not doing this." So I got the lawyer. And luckily, he got me out on house arrest and fought that all the way to here. So
First charges ever, and they're calling you a menace to society.
Yep. Yep.
Unbelievable, man. Well, I do have a couple questions. See how you might answer them.
All right.
Okay, this is something new that I'm doing.
Okay.
Okay. For people that might be on bond and they're going to jail, I like to put a scenario in front of you and tell me and hear what you would do if it came down to it.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Now I know race-wise is not too big of a factor compared to on the West Coast, as a lot of my viewers know. But let's just say some kind of white gang comes at you and says, "Hey, we need you to join us. We are low in numbers or whatever the case is. We need you to be with us. What's up?" What would you do?
Respectfully decline. I think.
Yeah.
From watching your videos, it doesn't seem like that's a good route to go in prison. So I'm definitely gonna have to not do it. No.
Yeah. And this is the thing, a lot of people are scared that if they don't, something might happen to them. But the worst case scenario, I mean, astronomically, people think the worst case scenario, I'll get stabbed if I don't do it. Look, people are not out there stabbing individuals just because you won't join them, okay?
Yeah.
If anything, they might pick on you, mess with you, might fight you, and you'll leave the block or the pod, but don't ever think that they're going to sit there and take your life just because you say no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know your religious beliefs, okay? But I'll tell you this right now. And they're almost, it don't matter, from east to west. When you are in, let's say you're a Christian and you're in that Bible on a regular basis, people might joke you, but they respect it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because 90% of these individuals were grown up, born and raised as a Christian to believe in Jesus. You know what I mean? So deep down, they're like, I respect it. They tend to leave people alone, and I've seen this happen on a regular basis. And that's why, you hear on the West Coast there's a Christian car, a religious car, and people jump into. But that might be the best route for you to do, embrace your religious beliefs and let people know where you stand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Now, are you good at playing cards?
Yeah, a little bit. I like to gamble a little bit.
Okay. Do you know how to play spades?
Not really. I bet I can learn that.
Yeah, I would suggest you learning to play spades because that's going to be a huge form of breaking the ice with a lot of individuals. You know what I mean? That's what's played throughout the blocks, and no matter where you're at, it's a notorious game. I would definitely learn how to play that on some kind of online course before you get in. At least You know, because there's always someone looking for another partner to play with. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
now, let's say another scenario. Let's say you see a poker table, and now look, poker tables in prison and jail are very different. They have so many different variations of poker games. Okay,
Yeah.
but once you get the hang of them, I mean, it's very addicting. Okay, now let's say there's a poker table jumping, and you see it, and you're like, damn, you know, I'm bored as hell. Uh, should I go down there and try to get in this poker game? What would you do? Would you join it? Would you try to join it? Would not?
Yeah, I'd probably try to join it. I'd probably try to get in there.
Hey, I'm not going to hate on you for it. A lot of people say do not gamble in prison. I beg to differ. Okay? If you are good at gambling, the only thing that is bad about gambling, okay, well, not only is it illegal in jail and prison, so I wouldn't recommend you doing it because you might get in trouble, but at the same time, it has its pros and cons. The only thing that I recommend is if you start losing, walk your ass away. Do not get in a debt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you ain't got what you can pay for, then don't gamble it. Because people will definitely give you fronts. People will allow it to keep going and think that you're good for it. And that's the number one way that people get messed up in prison, man. I'm telling you, is behind debts. So don't, if you start losing, walk the freak away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when it comes to poker, a huge con about it is, you know, pro about it is it's a good way to break the ice.
Yeah.
It's a good way, you know, sometimes in prison, like, if I want to get, you know, if you want to get into the crowd a little bit, you could even lose the first time that you play. You know, lose on purpose for the simple fact that these guys, oh man, I just got some food off them. You know what I mean? Let's keep them going. Let's keep them in the fold. Let's keep them in the poker mix, and let's play. And that's how you get, you know, intertwined into the people. So, but you don't lose again. You know, you try to really win. You know, but. It's a tricky mind game, man. It's a mind game in prison, and that's what you really need to know. You know what I mean? People are going to be trying to break you down or, you know, uplift you. It's either hot or cold. You know, people are going to either mess with you or they're really going to dislike you and try to hurt you, man, like mentally and physically. Now, let me ask you this, man. This is a crazy scenario.
All right.
What if someone rolls up on you with a shank and corners you in the cell? What you gonna do?
Fight till somebody's dead.
Yeah, and they want. Let me ask. All they want is your canteen. All they want is your food that you bought. What would you do? Are you gonna fight for your food, or are you gonna give it up?
Yeah, definitely. Because I know how it is. If you let them do it, they're gonna keep doing it, or they're gonna bring their buddies next time and make it worse. So definitely.
So you would fight for your food.
Yeah.
Even if you're cornered in a cell and dude has a 5-inch shank.
You're gonna do it. You're gonna have to do what you gotta do. Probably. I mean, thinking of it, I think I would. Yeah.
That's a risky decision, man.
Well, I mean, it depends. If he is a knife, probably not. But if it's him just trying to take my shit, definitely not. Because I know how it is. Next time, he's gonna keep doing it, or his buddies are gonna keep doing it. It's gonna get worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll tell you this. I'm not trying to get you to have a weapon. If a group of guys are coming to jump you or take your life or rape you, of course you're going to do anything and everything in your power to stop it, even if that means using some sort of weapon, you know. And people don't understand that sometimes, but judges do. I'm not,
definitely.
You know, so it all depends on where you're going. I don't think robbery, you got a robbery charge, correct? That's a violent crime, I believe. So you're going to be going probably to a level 3 penitentiary. And you're going to be surrounded probably by rapists, low-level murderers, and other violent offenders. And that's where I went. My first bid was a level 3 prison, level 3-4 prison. And I'll tell you, you know, jumping from a 1 and a 2 to a 3 is a totally different world. So you're about to be in the mix, my friend. You really need to be mentally prepared and know that the people that are going to be surrounding you are either violent or sexual predators. You know what I mean? You know, it sucks. It sucks, but I got a feeling you're gonna go in and you're gonna come out a damn gladiator, man.
Yeah, hopefully.
You're gonna be mentally. You're gonna be when you make it out alive, man. You're gonna be mentally and physically stronger than you've ever been in your life, and I can guarantee it. And it's gonna open your eyes to a lot of individuals around you who really matters.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? But I definitely think you should get a job. Try to get a job in there. That helps a lot. Stay busy. Yeah, that's about it, man. There ain't too many other crazy scenarios I can bring your way, but just keep this in mind, man. You know, these scenarios are the worst of the worst. You know, they probably more than likely will not come your way. You know, the most that I believe might come your way is someone trying to take your food.
Yeah. And
that happens all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have to be prepared for that. You know?
Definitely.
Let me give you another scenario. What are you going to do if, let's say you got $200 on your books when you go to prison. Okay? You got $200. You can go freaking buy a ton of food. Would you spend a lot of money and get a lot of food, or would you just kind of slow roll it?
Probably slow roll it, because the co-defendant I have, he spent all of it and now he regrets it. You know what I mean? Because we were talking to him the other day and he said he went through $200 in like 2 months, and I was like, holy shit. But like, I think I would slow roll it definitely, from what I've heard, because why buy like a large amount all at once? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
kind of just roll it.
Yeah. One thing that you got to realize when you first go into any kind of establishment, slow roll it. Slow roll it, because you got to get the feel for the inmates. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they're hungry, if you walk in that place and you see them extorting people, walking from cell to cell, getting food from them and stuff like that, especially if they're preying upon white dudes, you know, then you know what time it is. You better not stock up and prepare for the apocalypse in your cell with ramen noodles.
Yeah.
Always just buy enough to get by for the week or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And always keep your stash separate from your other stash. Keep multiple stashes throughout your cell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if they take one thing, you still got something underneath the freaking mat.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It is a good idea, man. You gotta think about all these scenarios, and man, you're very fortunate to hear this stuff. To tell you the truth, man. You know what I mean? Because people don't think like this. People do not think like this. But let me ask you this: how you think you're gonna handle the showers, man? Or have you taken showers with multiple men before?
Yeah, originally in jail the first time.
How was that?
Awkward at first. I mean, you kind of get used to it, because you got to do what you got to do. I was tired of washing my clothes in the sink. I was tired of that, and not showering, because when you're first in Camden County, your first 7 days are 23-1, so you're not showering that whole week. You're stuck in there. But then you get the population you can. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. It was weird at first, but you get used to it.
How was the shower? Were people wearing boxers while they showered, or what?
Some weren't. There was kind of the wall dividers, but didn't really do too much. Everybody kind of like, focused on themselves, got in and out as quick as possible. But
Okay. So it was a little weird at first about like how were the showers though? Was the pressure good?
They were hard. Yeah, really. Those things go, man.
Yeah.
And they're hot too. They're real hot.
People don't understand. A lot of these prison showers are beasts.
Yeah.
They actually are very relaxing sometimes, but at the same time, you're sitting there for 10 minutes. You might come out a whiter shade than you were when you first went in.
Yeah, definitely. It was hot too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what's up, man. I appreciate you coming on the show and listening to my scenarios. You got anything you want to say to anybody out here, or any shout outs to anybody?
Yeah, man. I just want to say I appreciate for having me on, and shout out to my family who's been holding me down through this whole thing, and I'll be back soon.
Yeah, man. You ain't gonna be gone too long, bro. Hopefully I get you back on the channel. Hopefully this channel's still going by the time you get out.
I hope so, man. I've been watching you for a long time.
Yeah, you might come out to 3 million viewers and then tell your story again.
That'd be great.
And then start your own channel or something,
Yeah,
Who knows?
Maybe.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on. I salute to you, and hopefully all three of y'all do all right, man. And if you hear from Eric, you know, I think his sister told him my PO box. Tell him to write, man, and write down mine so you can write me as well.
Yeah, I definitely will.
You know what I mean? Send me if you got any extra photos of yourself in prison, send them. I'll put it on a video and show people how you're doing. You know what I mean?
Definitely, I will.
All right, buddy. And once again, man, thank you for coming on.
Yep, no problem. Thank you. Have a good day, man.
All right, buddy. You too.